Championship Events. Gestern mit einem 105er Average der Sieg über Michael Smith. Er ist der World Masters Champion von 2017 aus Warschau, the Polish Eagle, Krzysztof Ratajski. Sein Kontrahent ist die aktuelle Nummer 7 der PDC Order of Merit. Er ist ein früherer UK Open Finalist und der amtierende Grand Slam of Darts Champion aus Wales, the Iceman, Gerwin Price.
I'm on a roll. Time to go solo. See off Jermaine Watermainer, a Pro Tour finalist this year, a 6-0 whitewash to start the day at the European Darts Open, and the favourite for the title is the first man through to the quarter-finals. He says he's not in a hurry, but he does want to watch Netherlands versus Germany in the football tonight. So, unfortunately for Michael, he is going to have to wait until this evening to play potentially 3 more games and lift yet another Euro Tour title. But either man here could stop him in the quarterfinals. One of them will go head-to-head with the world #1, and to be honest, I think it's a difficult one to call, because Gerwin Price is one of the 4 men in world darts right now. He went on a 20-game unbeaten run. He's won 2 titles. There were 5 tournaments in a row where he made at least the semi-finals. An astonishing set of performances from Gerwin Price, who has become one of the world's best players. But Krzysztof Ratajski, the Polish #1, has just averaged more than 105 and knocked out the man who made the World Championship final on New Year's Day.
Thank you, ladies and gentlemen. First leg, it's Krzysztof to throw first. Game on.
And it is the Pole who has the darts in the opening leg. Paul Nicholson joins me, Dan Dawson, in the commentary box for this.
Great to join you, Dan. Good afternoon, everybody, and I hope you're looking forward to this one and the rest of what is on the menu for the afternoon here on Sunday at Leverkusen. And this one makes you salivate because of their last meeting in Minehead back in November, which was... It was very similar, wasn't it, to what happened yesterday with Krzysztof and Michael Smith, where there was a big chasm between the two, and then all of a sudden it was bridged, and then it finished in dramatic circumstances. Yesterday's game with Krzysztof and Smith was amazing, as was these guys playing in November at Minehead.
Yeah, well, actually, they met in Minehead again since then at the UK Open, and Gerwin Price thrashed him 10-3. But
of course he did. I forgot about that one.
You are right. That one at the Players' Championship finals was a bit special. It was the first game that Gerwin had played since becoming Grand Slam champion.
Did you just go full on Towie there? A
Get
bit
away.
spesh.
Bit special? Oh, yeah. Was a bit special. This man is a bit special.
99.
He is confounded any fears that that record-breaking fine that was imposed on him, that it might derail him as a player. If anything, it's just made him stronger.
Well, you know what they used to say about the Premier League, that it would ruin players. Well, he was the exact opposite of that. After a poor Premier League in 2018, he found something, won a Euro Tour after being in a Euro Tour final in Austria last year and lost to Johnny Clayton, and he goes and wins a major. So it's going to be double 14 for Krzysztof Ratajski for a very good start, and that's exactly what he made yesterday against Smith before he was pegged back. Will there be more drama like that this afternoon?
Yeah, did have to survive a couple of match darts against Michael Smith after missing a couple of darts to take a 5-0 lead. It really was an astonishing contest. Gerwin Price was a bit more straightforward against Scott Taylor. Average just over 97, 6-3 win.
70.
That's what you want on a Saturday afternoon, isn't it? A straightforward 97 average.
Yeah, yes. Well, I mean, and he's making that look straightforward at the minute, Gerwin Price.
100.
You're just expecting him to put in that kind of display as a minimum.
Yeah, you're absolutely right. And there must be something about being Welsh at the minute and the words Grand Slam, because Obviously, he's the Grand Slam darts champion.
137.
And his previous sport of rugby, they got the Grand Slam last week, didn't they? So, yeah, play on words there a little bit.
96.
Yeah, but like you said yesterday, Dan, Welsh darts is in a great place at the minute with so much talent coming through. You know, Gezi, he's the flag bearer at the minute with Johnny Clayton, and Mark Webster's not finished yet. Jamie Lewis. And Ratajski from the off is putting pressure on Price.
It really is. Now,
58.
their meeting at the Players' Championship finals, which you started off this match by mentioning. Ratajski wants treble 18. Does not get it. Price is going to have to take out a massive check out at the UK Open. We saw him take out two 167s in the same game. He won't take the 164, and Ratajski will come back looking to break the throw and go 2-0 up.
89. Rest of Uruguay, 56.
Ratajski's been very efficient this week so far. Is this more proof of that? Not quite, and Gezi gets a poke at the 75, and it should really give him a shot at tops. Minimum. Now it's 2 at 12s. Excellent conversion. Gets a chance and takes it. This could be very good, this game. Do not leave us.
Yeah, a close game between these two. It could get pretty fiery as well. One of the funniest moments of last year was that meeting they had at the Players' Championship final.
139.
Because Gerwin, obviously, the internet was still raging from the Grand Slam.
58.
Hurling abuse left, right and centre. And Gerwin, to be honest, I thought his behaviour in that game with Christoph was more problematic than it was in the Grand Slam final. There was a moment Christoph was coming up to throw for the match, and Gerwin seemed to have a second celebration after hitting a decent score. And rather than sort of engage with it, Christoph just looked at him, gave him absolute daggers, shrugged it off, and hit the winning double next dart, which was, to be honest, hilarious. No referral over that behaviour there. The DRA were not made aware of it. Nobody referred it. It's not been investigated. So there's no danger of that coming back to haunt him and triggering the suspended ban that he's got. We're all just moved on, and Gerwin Price certainly has moved on and moved up.
Surely a 180. The bed was begging for it.
Does leave a bogey number though, so Christoph still has this leg in his own control.
140.
Not entirely sure how that one went in, but it did. And Ratajski's looking for a strong start to this year
130.
on the Euro Tour.
Rest of Uruguay, 64.
Oh, he loves this corner of the board. 2-8s. Brilliant from Ratajski. All on throw so far. You've got to feel, Dan, that Ratajski is the slightly stronger of the two right now.
Just everything looks like it's going in with authority, doesn't it?
90.
He's pinning sections of the board, and they're going bang in the middle of the treble or the double. The darts are going in very solidly. It's just a very uncomplicated game. It looks uncomplicated the way that Christoph plays it.
I think if you were looking at just the left-hand side of the screen, you think it was uncomplicated, but his action itself is vastly complicated. It's not something you would teach a young player to do. You know, putting that right arm out there and having such a long backlift and deliberate backlift. But it's something that he's honed very well. There's a little twist at the end as well. If you just look at the red flight there, look at that little twist. You've got to have real control of the dart if you're going to do that.
Even when he's missing, he's not missing by very much. You don't see Christoph Ratajski throw wild darts, do you?
Yeah, you don't get the Rob Cross slip dart.
No, you don't. You know, I mean, the guy that Gerwin Price beat in the last round, Scott Taylor. Scott Taylor is a guy who can smash in loads of 180s, but he's got a very sort of violent action, and sometimes you're seeing him miss the trebles by an inch, high or low. There's some real variation there. That is about as bad a dart you're going to see from Christoph Ratajski, that one.
Yeah, I think he was just trying to force that one too much and ended up pulling it. And And more often than not, when you pull a dart, you pull it short as well. However, 6 darts from 97, and it will be that breaker throw that he could have had in leg 2. He's happy just to lay up for tops. It's not looking particularly sharp for Gezi today. He's going to have to find something over the next 3 or 4 minutes to reignite his chance in this match, because Ratajski looks ready to take him out. That dart looks very flat to me. He may have to go right of that one. Huh. Well, how about left? Well, just so happens that Gezi's left is one of the hardest shots on the board. It's not going to go.
78. So, stuck 3 on the top wire last time out. Overcompensates. Long way off. Well.
We were talking about efficiency about 2 minutes ago, and then all of a sudden the wheels have come off. He is livid. I don't know what the Polish word is for livid, but he is thinking about it right now. Can Price steal another leg? Yes, he can. He can't believe it. And look at that facial expression of the Iceman, as if to say, ooh, didn't expect that one.
Oh, you know what? When things aren't going well, you don't seem to get that bit of luck. But things are certainly turning for Gerwyn Price. Things are happening for him. A little bit of luck could suddenly see him come back and start to take control of a game where he was very much second best for the opening 4 legs.
Well, Gerwyn Price is not the only former rugby player to have played top-level darts. Remember John Bowles?
The Bulldog.
Yeah, from Witness.
Yeah.
He was a decent rugby player. Imagine if that becomes a trend and people start playing darts from other professions. You could get the likes of Paul Scholes come and play darts. Loves his darts, Scholesy.
He does actually, yeah.
139.
Stolen the darts here, Gerwyn Price.
60.
Astonished he couldn't find trouble after the first dart there. Looks a fantastic guide for it.
If Ratajski is going to be involved in another tight one here, he may have a couple more grey hairs on that bonnet of his, because he's already had 2 in this tournament with Matthew Edgar and Michael Smith. The last thing you want to do, really, is go through the mill a bit like that. You want to have some energy left.
140.
But this one could well be another 6-5.
Yeah, Matthew Edgar will feel he could have beaten Ratajski in their first round game. Ratajski, one of 3 unseeded players still in the tournament.
94.
Justin Pike, Dimitri van der Beek and Ross Smith, sorry, a 4th. Single 16 leaves tops. Price gives himself a moment and takes the lead.
I was saying just over a leg ago that he wasn't looking sharp. Should have been 3-1 down. And if you'd have said to me, Dan, 5 minutes ago that Price was going to be 3-2 up, I would not have believed you.
Well, we're only seeing averages in the low 90s here. Gerwyn Price so far on the Pro Tour this year is averaging 99.5. Christoph Ratajski is averaging more than 97. You're expecting them to raise their numbers. We have had a few missed darts double, but Gerwyn's scoring hasn't been.
He's had a lot of darts like that.
Yeah, and
just
not
sitting
being
on
able
that
to make
top
the most
wire.
of them either. There, that's better.
Sometimes when you've got players like Gezi who can get the points so close together, that guide, he almost has to have a 60 for another one to nestle in, because if he's just above that 60 wire, he can actually get it in between the wire and the dart. It's a real gift that he has. There's another one just like that.
This time he does use it expertly.
It's almost, he's got to hit the middle of the barrel and get it to rebound just a couple of extra millimeters down, as opposed to hitting the bottom of the point.
59.
No, we're talking about really, really ridiculous margins, but with players like Gezi, who has a fairly long point in that dart, and he can see a lot of the point,
100.
he gets them very close together, and it does matter.
He's just started doing that a little bit more over the last couple of legs, where he's had... And look, if you're going to miss, for Gerwyn Price, miss high, miss above that treble, and work your way down. And he's starting to be able to do that a little bit more regularly.
58.
And Christoph is missing the trebles with a bit more regularity. That leaves his favourite double top.
84.
He will want that one back. That one just died in the air. You can see with Gezi that he'll do anything and everything to leave tops.
78.
12s as a backup, 10s as a backup. Is he going to miss doubles now? Yes. Is that going to be the tale of this game? The people who should be winning the legs aren't.
Well, this would be a heck of a steal. Going to happen. And Ratajski must be fuming because he was so good yesterday beating Michael Smith. And it's just, despite a promising start to this match, it's just fading in this one. That's 3 legs on the spin for the Grand Slam champion, and he's 2 away from a spot in the quarterfinals. And a meeting with Michael van Gerwen, a man he has never beaten. Played 14, lost 14.
There's that dot again, just above that wire. It's a beautiful adjustment this time.
100.
But you've got to beat him sometime, surely.
Well, I mean, look, it was looking like maybe their meeting in the Premier League just a couple of weeks ago, that might be the time. Gerwyn was coming in as the form man, won a couple of titles. Michael had obviously had a couple of disappointments and, you know, not getting wins in the Premier League, a couple of draws. And maybe this was the moment that Gerwyn Price could go and break his duck, and he just didn't perform at all.
Well, neither of them did at the start of the match.
It was a really poor opening few legs from the pair of them. Michael kind of got his act together, and he ended with a 96 average, and look, for anybody else, that's pretty good. But Gerwyn Price must be absolutely devastated because the chance was there. That's more like it. The first real roar we get from Gerwyn Price. And you know, there wasn't that frosty reception for the Iceman when he walked on. Not as many boos as we usually get.
People like winners, don't they? He'd still get booed if he wasn't so successful.
Oh, treble 19. Not quite. Yeah, the last few weeks, well, pretty much since the Grand Slam, any Gerwyn Price walk-on has been accompanied by more boos than Cliff Lazarenko's drinks cabinet.
Very good.
One there. Leaves the bullseye. Oh!
That familiar thud when a dart gets really close to the ball, if not in. But now, tops doesn't adjust. Maybe he should have, and he shakes his head. That pressure from Ratajski on that close call with a 170 may have been enough to just put Gerwyn Price off. Can he see enough of that? Yes, he can, right in the top corner.
Well, back in the game, but still, it's Gerwyn Price in control.
You get the feeling that the Iceman is keeping something in reserve here as far as adrenaline is concerned. Because in those 2 games that they've had at Minehead in the last few months, there's been a lot of adrenaline and a bit of testosterone involved. So maybe he's just saving it just in case he needs it.
Well, he knows what it takes in these final days of the European Tour. He made a final last year in Graz and was only beaten by his World Cup of Darts teammate Johnny Clayton. But then he went on to win his first European Tour title, and of course that foreshadowed the Grand Slam win to come.
140.
Yeah, first person to lift the Eric Bristow Trophy. That's some honour.
44.
Fitting, some might think.
I think the tournament as a whole was very befitting Eric.
Yeah.
It wasn't short of a word or two, and it was just brilliant. Couldn't take your eyes off it.
45.
Oh, Christoph, that's a real poor last dart.
great, great response from Gerwyn Price. Allows him back in the leg. How he would dearly love to be 5-3 to the good.
Just a bit of a lurch on that last dart for Krzysztof Ratajski. He's still requiring a ton plus checkout. That's 30 off.
Really surprised he didn't switch to 19s on the last dart.
He's become a lot more willing to leave other doubles like double 16, certainly than he was last year. He may not even get a go at the 89. That's a flyer from the Polish Eagle.
This has got the makings of a real game changer, this. Now, 2 double tops. Yes, there's one. Oh, and the one time he wanted that dart where he could sneak it just under the wire, it didn't happen. Just didn't have enough behind it. Double 10 has been missed a lot by Ratajski in this game. He's missed it again. But he hasn't missed double 5, and this one's heating up. Lovely, full reach.
And Krzysztof Ratajski, I think, has just gone favourite for this game by winning the last couple of legs. This match has gone in spells. Krzysztof undoubtedly the better player through the first 3 legs. 3.5 legs, in fact. Then Gerwyn taking control. But Krzysztof is in another battle. It was a scrap with Matthew Edgar. It was a phenomenal contest with Michael Smith. And this one is a very tricky one to call as well.
You noticed how Ratajski's changed over the last couple of years? Oh, that's really unfortunate. Really unfortunate. But Ratajski, when we first saw him come onto the European Tour, and he made almost every tournament in 2017. You didn't get any emotion from him at all, even when he was winning. Then last year he started getting a little bit more amped. And this year we're getting more from him mid-leg. We're seeing a bit more facial expression.
Well, one of my favourite moments in watching Krzysztof Ratajski over the last 2 or 3 years was when he took on Adrian Lewis in a Pro Tour final at the back end of last year. Won 3 Pro Tour titles last year without even having a tour card, which is unprecedented, and you will not see that again. It just won't happen. Oh, that's a great visit, and he needed all 3 of them to get down to a finish. Asks a question of the Polish Eagle. Does he have the answer?
I think Gezzy's going to have to take this 146 out. He can't. And Ratajski, with the way his darts lie, he's not going to be blocking that tops with the single 20. So fancy him to hit this to take the lead again.
Oh, only going to get 1 dart for the leg. It is double top.
That miss could be massive.
A problem of his own making. Oh, my word.
It's one of those nose-diving darts that just died in the air, and he's livid. Can Ratajski punish? Double 5 again. He's missed it this time, and this game has been about misses. It's not been about hits. But double 10 in a flash, and Price has the lead back. Just don't know what's going to happen in this game. It's been glorifyingly unpredictable.
18 missed darts at double by Krzysztof Ratajski. 10 from Gerwyn Price. But look, with players playing in this manner, this is a coin flip right now, because you can see them both getting darts to win the last 2 legs, and you've got no idea who's going to win them. There you go. I mean, we've only had the first 5 legs of this, where 3 15 darters. That's as good as it's been in terms of the standard. It has not been what we expect, but it has still been interesting. And as you say, Krzysztof Ratajski, he has become quite a sort of emotional player. He tends to bottle things up and then let it out at the end of matches. But one of his Pro Tour wins, oh my word, beat Adrian Lewis in a final where they basically got into a shouting contest all the way through the final. Adrian started giving it some, Christoph give it some back. It was quite entertaining, and then by the end of it, he let out so much emotion. He did the little sort of dance thing and pumping his arms. He nearly knocked himself clean over, Christoph Ratajski.
Yeah, as long as he doesn't do an Andrew Galota, that famous Polish boxer who was synonymous for low blows against Riddick Bowe. You don't want to be doing that in a dartboard.
No. I mean, I wouldn't recommend it. Stand up if you love the darts. Echoing round the Osterman Arena here in Leverkusen.
I don't think it's a question. I think it's a statement. I think everybody here has loved this tournament so far. And if Price gets through, he knows he's going to have to play better to beat Van Gerwen. But Ratajski knows exactly the same. And there was a lurch again there from Ratajski. That has been creeping into his game lately.
Oh, to finish it in style. I thought he'd stay there, to be honest. Second prize, because he will come back with 3 match darts at double 12, unless...
Wouldn't shock me if this went in. Now he needs misses from Price. But it's a double that he loves.
He beats him at the UK Open. This was nowhere near as convincing, and he knows it, Gerwyn Price. A cheeky little smile from the Welshman. He's got away with that one. But the Grand Slam champ is through to the quarter-finals here at the European Darts Open, and he will resume hostilities with Michael van Gerwen. 14 times they've played. 14 times Gerwyn Price has been beaten by the world's best player. That has to change at some point, doesn't it? Could it be tonight?
Und wir gratulieren Gerwyn Price zum Einzug ins Viertelfinale. Gerwyn, it wasn't pretty, but in the end you got over the line there.
Yeah, probably the worst I've played for the last couple of months, but you know, Christoph didn't play well, I didn't play well, but I got over the line at the end, and you know, I'm struggling to score, and when I'm scoring, I'm struggling to hit doubles, but you know, when you're playing bad and winning, it's not so bad. Hopefully now, well, I need to play a lot better against Michael later on, but there we go.
Er hat gesagt, er ist so über die Ziellinie gekommen, aber ein gutes Spiel war es nicht. Er sagt, ja, es ist komisch zurzeit, oder das war jetzt sicherlich das schlechteste Spiel, das er in den letzten Monaten gemacht hat. Er sagt, ganz komisch, wenn ich gut score, dann checke ich nicht, und wenn ich checke, dann kommt der Score nicht so richtig gut. Er sagt, gegen Michael van Gerwen im Viertelfinale muss er da deutlich mehr spielen. You mentioned Michael, last 13 times that you played, he won all 13 of them. It's about time that you get one over on him here in Leverkusen?
Yeah, I just got a ridiculously poor record against him. It's probably my head more than anything, and every time he plays bad, I play worse. But hopefully tonight now I can overcome that and obviously play a lot better than I did today. Otherwise, I'm going home.
Nächste Runde, Michael van Gerwen. Die letzten 13 Spiele, die sie gegeneinander gemacht haben, hat Michael van Gerwen alle 13 gewonnen. Gerwyn sagte, ja, das liegt meistens daran, dass ich unfassbar schlecht spiele gegen ihn. Wenn Michael van Gerwen gegen mich schlecht spielt, dann spiele ich einfach noch schlechter. Ist wahrscheinlich alles in meinem Kopf. Hoffentlich kriege ich es heute besser hin, sagt er. Dabei wünschen wir ihm heute Abend viel Glück und gratulieren dem Iceman, Gerwyn Price.